Daniil Medvedev and Jasmine Paolini saw all the ESPN commentators counting them out before their Wimbledon quarterfinals, and they said,
"Not on my watch. Not on my watch."
Hey, this is Christian Bass Knight, and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new Wimbledon content, and also help me reach my goal of making it to 15K subscribers before the tournament ends. Before I get into the news, I want to apologize for this makeshift mic. I'm obviously not in my normal recording setting, and I left my normal mic equipment at home, so
I'll do the best I can with what I got.
Daniil Medvedev is into a second consecutive Wimbledon semifinal, toppling world number 1 Jannik Sinner in a topsy-turvy 5-setter with a score of 5-7, 6-4, 7-6, 2-6, 6-3. The loss is just Sinner's fourth of the year, as Jannik was the big Wimbledon favorite as he had just come off that highlight title. Sinner also won the last 5 matches against the Russian, including this year's Australian Open final. Breaking down this match, there was little between these two guys in the opening set, and neither one of them had a break point. The tiebreaker was a mess from both guys, and Daniil really should have won it, but he just made too many bad errors at inopportune times, especially when he was up set point. Medi double faulted on Sinner's second set point to drop the opener. Daniil, he recovered well though in the second set, and he cleaned up those errors as he only committed 6 unforced errors the entire second set. Sinner, meanwhile, he struggled a lot with his timing and shanked a few more forehands than normal, which contributed to his higher 14 unforced error count. In the third set, Medvedev once again broke in the third game, and right after that, Sinner received a medical timeout with the doctor checking his pulse. He also left the court during the third set, and his issues seemed to arise in the first set actually, as they two played a 30-plus shot long rally, and he looked hunched over and really just looked out of shape. Sinner was really not moving at the best of his abilities, but he still hit the ball very well, and he got the break back, but Medvedev was just too solid in the tiebreaker. Sinner, he upped his level though in the fourth set and served phenomenally well, and he won 85% of first serve points and 100% of his second serve points. Daniil, he definitely looked a little bit tentative, but he fixed that though in the fifth set, as he did a better job of taking control of the baseline proceedings, and he overall was the more solid of the two. He got that one lone necessary break and to go up 3-1, and then that 3-1 game though was the big decider of the match. Medvedev was choking hard, to be honest, and it took him 6 game point opportunities to finally consolidate the break, and from then on he was fine in closing out the match. We've talked about Carlos kind of being the 5-set king, but Medvedev obviously isn't too shabby himself. The Russian has won his last 5 of 6 5-setter matches, and his last 5-set loss of course came to Jannik at the Australian Open final, so definitely great for him that he was able to get revenge after that heartbreaking loss. Speaking of Alcaraz, by the way, he had a much more straightforward time out on court in his quarterfinal, beating Tommy Paul 5-7, 6-4, 6-2, 6-2. The match was such a grind in the first set, and Alcaraz himself even said that he felt like he was playing on clay with how long the rallies were going and how much of a struggle it was for both guys to hold serve. Alcaraz in particular struggled a lot to hold serve, and I think that was due to Paul returning incredibly well, while Carlos he struggled to make inroads in Paul's service games. I think that was due to Paul just serving smart, and especially on the second serve, where he served a majority of his second serves into the Alcaraz body, preventing the number 3 seed from really going on the offensive and attacking on that front. Alcaraz, he looked in deep trouble being down a set and a break at 7-5 to love, but as he's done throughout the entire tournament, he knew how to turn the afterburners on when his back was against the wall, and he made a few strategic changes too. Alcaraz, he did a great job to back up on his return, and which helped him overall make more returns. He also just finally cashed in and was more opportunistic on his break point opportunities, because in the first set and a half. He had a lot. He just wasn't cashing in. This time, whenever he did have break points, it took him a minute, but those games where he had break points in, he won a lot of them. He won most of them. A big deciding factor, too, was just Tommy not being able to match Carlos's freak, his intensity throughout the entire match. Alcaraz, of course, he's down for the grind. He has the experience of grinding in these 5-setters. And while Paul, he's a fit player himself, he definitely faded away towards the end, and he made a lot more unforced errors. Alcaraz leads the head-to-head with Medvedev 4-2, looking ahead to their semifinals, and the Spaniard won their last meeting, which was at the Indian Wells final, by a score of 7-6, 6-1. I think Carlos will be the favorite here against Medvedev in this final. He won their Wimbledon semifinal from last year pretty convincingly. I think 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like he's a little bit more comfortable on the grass, but I think that Medvedev too will have a lot of confidence in getting that great win over Sinner. And I think that getting that win over Sinner was big for him because you could tell he was still nervous throughout the match, and he had a point to prove, and he did not want to go like 6 in a row losing to Jannik. So I think that now that he's gotten that monkey off his back, he should play a little bit more free. And once again, he will be the underdog. So we know he performs the best being the underdog. And that's one thing about Daniil too. He loves playing party pooper, and he loves proving people wrong whenever they think that he has no shot at winning. We saw it at the 2023 U.S. Open semifinal, where Alcaraz was the huge favorite to bring us that highly anticipated Alcaraz-Djokovic semifinal, and Medvedev said, "Not on my watch." And then now again here, we were one match away from having Alcaraz Sinner Volume 10, and Medvedev said, "Not on my watch" once again. Now on to the women's quarterfinal action. Jasmine Paolini, she has reached back-to-back slam semifinals after demolishing American Emma Navarro 6-2, 6-1. As I said in the intro, Navarro was the favorite to win this match despite being the lower ranked of the two, and that's because she had that 3-0 head-to-head advantage over Paolini coming into this one. And also people were impressed by how well she handled both Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff, and though her straight sets routes over those two slam champions. Emma, she started the match well. She broke Paolini to go up 2-1. However, that would be all she wrote for the billionaire and 19th seed, as Paolini broke back immediately at love and did not look back from that point forward. The stats really tell the story of the match. Jasmine was nearly spotless from the ground, hitting 19 winners to just 12 unforced errors. Paolini, she is only 5'4", but she served very well today. She hit good pace and placement on her serve, which helped her gain a solid 68% of points off her first serve. Jasmine is known to kind of have a weaker second serve, but she went for more behind that, which was necessary because Navarro was going to eat those second serve alive if they sat up for her. Jasmine was more of the aggressor on her return for sure. She took the ball early and put a lot of pressure right back on the American, immediately robbing her of time. She did the same thing from the ground, to be honest, too, thanks to her remaining tight and close to the baseline, which ensured that she was in control of most of the rallies. Paolini was just on another level here today because she came into the net on balls that I thought she had no business coming in on. But with her accomplished net repertoire, she handled basically whatever Navarro threw at her. And she was just really a goddess out there at the net, winning 16 out of 17 points in the forecourt, which is ludicrous. Jasmine really did everything that Coco should have done against Navarro in this match. Namely, I think, too, just coming forward and taking more chances in the forecourt to take time and really bum rush the American. I feel like Gauff really, if she were to come through Navarro and play Paolini, she wouldn't have won this match the way that Paolini was playing. This little run that Paolini is on right now at the championships proves that she truly is an all-court player. She won a 1000 tournament in Dubai on a hard court. She reached her first slam final on clay, and now she reached the semifinals here at Wimbledon, of course, on grass. And it's impressive, too, because she had never won a match at Wimbledon before this year at this tournament. Jasmine's incredible rise has earned her a new milestone of cracking the top 5. The Italian will be making her top 5 debut on Monday, which means that Jessica Pegula will be out. Pegula actually remained inside the top 5 for 90 consecutive weeks, which is an incredible accomplishment for her. So Mrs. Consistency, that's really a fitting name for her. Now back to Jasmine and giving her praise. I really find it incredible that she didn't have a letdown after Roland Garros making the final and especially to how she was able to recover after that grueling tournament that she had and getting right back on it and making the semifinals. It shows you that she's really here to stay. If she plays like this for the rest of the tournament, I see no reason why she can't lift her maiden major title on Saturday. Donna Vekic, her semifinal opponent, will want to make sure that does not happen. Donna defeated the Cinderella story of the tournament, qualifier Lulu Soon, with a score of 5-7, 6-4, 6-1. Lulu actually played very well to start the match, and she really looked on course to make her maiden slam semifinals with how well she was playing, especially with considering how Vekic, she was struggling physically, it appeared, with her neck and just with the double faults. However, Lulu's experience or lack thereof showed itself, and she made a lot of errors towards the tail end of the match, while Vekic remained steady and cool, thanks to her likely being in this quarterfinal position before. She showed greater nerve and cruised towards the finish line at the end. Vekic, who is 28 years old, has been around for a minute. This marks her first slam semifinal appearance after competing in 43 Grand Slams. In the open era, only Barbora Shchrytsova with 53, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova with 52, and Elena Likovtseva 46, and Roberta Vinci 44 took more Grand Slam appearances to make a maiden slam semifinal. Vekic also mentioned in her post-match press conference how she contemplated retirement just over a month ago, actually before Roland Garros, which I will talk a little bit more about later in a separate video coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. So that too is just very impressive that she was able to bounce back and have literally the best result of her life right now. Paolini leads the head-to-head with Vekic 2-1, and she won their last meeting at the 2022 Montreal Open in straight sets 7-6, 6-2. I think that she will be the favorite, Jasmine, not only because of how well she played in this match, but because, you know, she has that edge of being here before in a slam semifinal. And plus, I think that Vekic, she looked a little bit banged up and beat up too, but she knows how to grind and fight to the bitter end. So for sure, we might be in store for a battle, but I think Paolini will have a little bit more in the tank in the end to take her through to yet another slam final. Looking ahead to the other quarterfinal matches on tap for day 9, Day 9, Elena Rybakina and Elena Svitolina will open play on center court, followed by Alex de Minaur, who will look to somehow upset Novak Djokovic. And then on court 1, Yelena Ostapenko and Barbora Krejcikova will duel for the Battle of the Slam champs, followed by Lorenzo Musetti and Taylor Fritz, who will both be looking to make their first slam semifinal. That's all I have for this update, and let me know what y'all thoughts were on the day's action and who you think we will see in the finals. Also, make sure you again subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post my day 9 recap. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time here on Christian's Court.